You know, when I first was thinking about moving to Alaska, I didn't know how many people were here, didn't realize how big it was, didn't know if the cities and towns would be populated with moose and cart-drawn buggies, or what was going on here, if the roads were paved. I just wasn't sure how much civilization was here, but come to find out, Anchorage has nearly 300,000 people, and it has a very active entrepreneur and business community. And I wanted to get to know some of the local businesses, some of the things that were going on here. And what better place than at the Denied Convention and Civic Center that's right behind me, where we have the Anchorage Boat Show. We've got interviews lined up with some really fascinating companies, starting off with Sherp of Alaska. We are here at the Anchorage Boat Show in downtown Anchorage, Alaska, and we are with Guy and Ben from a very exciting company. I see that we have a lot of things going on here at the boat show. We've got motorcycles, we've got recreational vehicles and motorhomes, and we've got...
Yeah, Sherp of Alaska. We provide Sherps, all-terrain vehicles, stand behind us.
So we've all seen Sherp on the internet and across the lands of social media. What exactly is Sherp?
Sherp is a Ukrainian-made extreme terrain vehicle made to get into the most difficult places on the planet. So it's fully amphibious, floats without the tires.
How long has Sherp been on the market? And do y'all have competition? Is this the only thing like this that's out there?
There's a couple other vehicles that are kind of copycat type vehicles for Sherp.
And were you guys first to market?
Sherp was the first one designed, and everything after that's been sort of a copycat. Yeah.
And how long has it been around?
Close to 10 years. We've been dealing with them
Yeah.
about 4 years. It was a couple years before that with another organization.
And what was the inspiration to starting the company?
Terrain just like we have in Alaska. Going across Siberia, something that is very capable, that's going to be reliable, not be too complex to work on, has a good payload, and you can get people out back and forth comfortably into those areas.
Who is using these kind of vehicles?
We get a lot of oil and gas industry, mining infrastructure, utility companies will use them, lodges. We can cross ice that's not quite frozen, so going into and out of semi-frozen lakes and things like that, a lodge can get into their area a month earlier than they could before. So that really makes a difference if you're trying to get everything going for the season.
You mean for like hunting lodges and
Hunting
fishing?
lodges, fishing lodges, anything we get across a semi-frozen lake, or there's always in Alaska especially we have that season where it's like you can't travel across ice or anything like that. Well, this is not a problem. You go in and out.
So generally, what do people do? They tow this to the location and then use it to get in and out?
Yeah, on a trailer, like a regular full-size truck can haul. It's 5,200-pound dry weight, so a regular full-size truck can haul this, but you put it on an equipment trailer, drive it on the road system, and then from there, get out to where you need to get to. So,
what are the speeds?
if you're fully inflated at like 200 millimeters of mercury, you're topped out, you're on pavement or something, maybe 19 miles an hour. But over very rough terrain, we're still getting 10 to 12 miles per hour.
What are the tires inflated to?
They measure in millimeters of mercury, not PSI, so it actually diverts the exhaust into the tires. So you flip the switch, plus or minus, inflates it with exhaust.
So we're running usually about 75 to 80 millimeters. Okay. Takes about 30 seconds to go from flat to that. You flick a switch, hit the gas, and go.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll actually drop all the pressure to load, because this thing will drop about 1.5 feet. When you drop that pressure, it takes about 30 seconds to drop it on the ground, about 30 seconds inflated to where you need to drive to.
Yeah, there's no suspension. The suspension is the
Suspension
tires.
is the tire,
The tendency of the tires to be forgiving.
So it's really nice. So if you're going over rough terrain, we'll deflate the tires on the fly. It takes a few seconds.
And it's amphibious.
Fully amphibious,
100%.
even without the tires, yeah.
And how many people can it hold?
There's different ways to set it up. There's 4 bucket seats in the back, 2 in the front, or you can set up a crew transport, 7 in the back, 2 in the front.
Yeah, so the max is 9 for adults. Configurations in here, yeah.
And it's heated and cooled.
Yeah, it's totally heated and sealed, which is really nice. So we've been in very windy conditions. It's like you're in an airplane, totally sealed off. It also has a Webasto heater, so when the engine's off, you're heated. So real cold weather, we camped in it at negative 17 degrees, and it was 70 degrees in there, comfortable. The Webasto just sips the diesel. So very low fuel use, like 1.2, always under 2 gallons per hour, but about 1.2 gallons per hour use. Very fuel economical.
How does somebody test drive one, or if somebody's interested?
Yeah, we do test rides for serious buyers, so you just contact Sherp of Alaska, sherpofalaska@gmail.com. We have a Midtown location. It's by appointment only, but give us a call, and if you're serious, we have them here on site. We walk you through the unit and then arrange a test ride. But
I've seen one downtown, outside on the street. Was that y'all?
Probably. So we on the buyer side, we do have a lot of private buyers. So a lot of people in Alaska use them as hunting rigs because you're just going to be able to get out to where most people can't pretty quickly. So
Accessing remote cabins,
yeah, so
shoulder seasons.
we have people that'll go in on them with their friends, because it's a little bit more expensive than fully shipped to Anchorage right now. Brand new units are about $175.
Okay.
We have some used units for sale for about $125 to $130. But it's more than $40,000 for a nice side by side. But if you go on it with a few friends, it's all you ever need for hunting. We're never going to go back to side by sides and four wheelers. And
They probably use this instead of like even a lodge. They can just work right out of here and hunt and fish.
yeah, I mean, we live in it. We lived in this thing for 20 days 1 year hunting.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I mean, they're comfortable. It's like having an RV that'll go anywhere you need to go. So.
What else do we need to know about it?
2-year warranty on them. There is financing we've seen for as low as 7 or 8% or whatever on the financing. We also sell a trailer, which we actually have here. You can take a look at. I think the trailer is 26. Each of these things has a 2,400 pound payload, so you can get a lot of
this weight in them.
material. People who are, we've talked to quite a few people here at the show that are building off-grid cabins, and so just for hauling that stuff back there, you can get a lot more back there. You should definitely take a look at the trailer. It comes with 2 spare tires for your Sherp, and not too bad. I mean, for the price of this unit and the trailer, you're still $20,000 less than the fat truck, and it's about 50% more capable than a fat truck. So,
What states do you guys have representation in?
all 50 states.
All 50?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're the dealer for Alaska, Northwest.
Okay.
It was distributed through Argo.
So we were the Argo distributors. Now we're back directly with Sherp, which actually saves money for the customer because it was actually a price increase when it was with Argo. So
Are there military applications?
absolutely, it's just a difficult thing is they're made in Ukraine, so there's some rules against whether they can purchase them there.
For the military.
Yeah, I mean, I talked to the guy out of Delta who was the one who was evaluating these versus Susvies and everything else, and he said their favorite by far was the Sherp, but because it's made in Ukraine, they couldn't choose that. So, yeah.
All right, well, thank you guys very much. Up next, we'll talk with an entrepreneurial success story, Nomar Alaska. The name originally stood for No Marca de Fish and now stands for Northern Marine, which actually started 45 years ago out of a school bus.
Name originated from No Marca de Fish. The commercial fishermen came to Kate about 40 years ago. They used to transport their fish in seine nets, and all of the weight on the outer layer of fish would press against the seining nets and essentially mark the fish, and the fishermen were getting less money for the quality of fish. So they came to Kate and said, hey, can you make us a bag that will transport the fish and hold up to 1,000 pounds? And Kate did. So it started out as No Marca de Fish, but it has evolved into Northern Marine.
That's amazing. And so who's Kate?
Kate Mitchell, she has a book right here.
And we'll
Maybe
get a
we
shot
can
of that. Yeah.
Get a shot of that.
Perfect.
She started out of a school bus on Kachemak Drive 45 years ago.
And they came to her to ask her to make bags that wouldn't mark the fish because marking the fish made them less valuable. So the bags that she created actually created a lot of value for the fishermen.
Absolutely, and those are the brailer bag. It's really evolved. Right now, the company has 5 different departments. I do custom canvas enclosures. For the maritime world, I do heavy equipment covers, and we have upholstery, typical boat bags, any sort of bag you can think of.
So this is a true entrepreneurial success story. Now I have to ask, with the bus, was she living out of the bus?
She was not living out of the bus. Yeah, I think they were probably in an RV parked next to the bus.
And so they started making these bags. And was she already a seamstress at that time?
Yes, well, her mother did upholstery, and essentially she grew up under the table of a sewing machine. Kate and Ben, they are retired coasties. They came to Homer, Alaska as their retirement location, and Kate is an entrepreneur, and she has the can-do attitude.
So it branched out from making the bags to transport the fish, and then into all these other departments with upholstery, with these bags. It looks like some of them are pretty stylish. Like they're more than probably just boat bags at this point.
We do a lot of custom orders too, so if someone has an idea for a certain type of bag that's going to suit their lifestyle, they will bring it to us, and we all have the can-do attitude, and we say, yeah, we'll do it.
Where's your distribution? Like, do you have shops that have these, or is it all via a website?
We do have an online shop that ships all over the world, and then also our manufacturing is down in Homer on Main Street in Pioneer. But that's where you can see the whole production line. Right now we have about 20 to 25 employees.
And I don't know if you said the website?
It's nomaralaska.com.
So if anybody needs any kind of bags for fishing or upholstery,
yeah, or clothes or curtains, if you can think of it for a sewing machine, we can do it.
All right, well, thank you so much, Jerry Kellerman, and congratulations to everybody in your success, and thanks for the interview. Lastly, we're going to visit with Peninsula Power Sports and their $350,000 30-foot Raider. And we'll talk about the differences in the waters and the waterways that are up here in Anchorage, Alaska. We're here with Haley Titus with Peninsula Power Sports. Tell us about this boat we're on.
So we're on a 30-foot offshore Raider. This boat is designed to be on the water for longer periods of time. If you want to go to a cove and camp for a week, you can do that. But we've also built it rugged and strong so that you can go fishing in deep waters, feel comfortable when you're out on the water.
Well, tell me a little bit about the company.
So the company has been in business for almost 30 years now. The original owner who designed the boats 30 years ago built an amazing structure. He built a boat that handles Alaskan waters really well. But he was getting older. We had just started selling the boats, and my husband went down and asked if he would be interested in selling out because we wanted to continue his legacy, but also bring the boats into the 21st century, upgrade the interiors, make them more plush, but also continue to add strength and durability to the boats by welding everything out. This is the largest of our lineup. It is a 9-foot beam. It has a 96-inch bottom, it has full 1/4-inch hull. We do that all the way down to even our smallest little boat because we want a really strong boat for you to be out in the Alaska waters.
And tell me about the Alaska waters and how they're different from probably anywhere.
Alaska is a lot of open space. It's a lot of distance, just like the state itself. You'll go out and typically you will have at least 1 foot of chop. If you're out there, it's not often you get a calm day. And so this boat will cruise about 30 miles an hour at 1 to 3 foot chop, and you can still drink your coffee. It handles and rides really nice.
And what do people use a boat like this for?
We use it a lot for fishing. Some people will go shrimping in Prince William Sound.
For private or commercial?
Both. A lot of private use. A lot of Alaskans are very independent, and we want to get out. We want to get away from everything and go off and be by ourselves. So there's a lot of personal use. We do have commercial use for charters, taking tourists out on fishing.
So somebody might store this at a marina or their house and use it for weekends?
Yep, and you can transport it. We have multiple ports here. We have Seward, Homer, Whittier, Valdez. I have customers who transport their boats all over the place throughout the summer, and just gives them different fisheries to work through.
One thing I noticed when I moved to Alaska was that the boats were different. So tell me about that.
Well, number one, you don't see a lot of fiberglass up here.
Yeah, I think that's what it is, not a lot of fiberglass.
Yeah, so aluminum is very popular up here because of the maintenance. Fiberglass is a very high maintenance boat. They handle and ride beautifully in the water. There are fiberglass boats up here that do phenomenal. But typically we want to wash down our boats and not have to worry about resealing them. We want to wash everything down with soap and water and put it away and go fishing another day. So
I think with aluminum you don't have probably as much problems with barnacles, or is it the same situation?
You can have growth if you leave it in the marina. Some people will bottom paint their boats, which helps protect against that. You do have to maintain it, but that's typically more on massive boats that never leave the water. So these boats don't tend to grow barnacles. They might grow some algae if they stay in the harbor all summer.
And then I know you guys are proud of the hull design here, and I know hull design is a critical for how the ride is. Tell me about that?
Our boats have an upswept bow. Everything from all of our boats have an upswept bow. Anytime you can get that bow off the water, it just helps with the handling. We also do a really deep V, and we do lifting strikes. So our boats are very predictable in the water. It takes out a lot of the fatigue of actually running long distances. When you're out there on the water, you're looking for logs, you're looking for debris. If you hit something like that, we want the plate of our aluminum to be full 1/4 inch. We want it to hold up so that you're not having issues. All of our boats are built with heavier gauge aluminum than most production. Our boat is in the production lineup, so we produce about 150 to 200 boats a year, but they're all very similar. You can get into custom ranges like the Bay Welds that are here where everything is custom, but we wanted to draw from Bay Weld's expertise also. The owner of Bay Weld is also one of the owners of Raider Boats. We wanted to integrate 1/4 inch holes and all those types of things that allow for a heavy duty boat for Alaska.
And what about icebergs? Do we have icebergs right ahead?
We have icebergs. I don't recommend running into them. They're much better to use for your cooler than to run into.
What else do we have that are sort of new features?
So for 2024, a lot of the things that we try to do to integrate into our boats is we want to remove as much of the high maintenance items as we possibly can. This year, as of 2024, we no longer have any wood in the flooring of our cabins. In our smaller boats we do, because those are more of a price point boat. But when it comes to the offshores, everything all of the cabinetry is completely welded in. We have the PVC flooring, the same stuff you have in high-end custom homes that holds up. It's durable, it's easy to clean. We want you to walk in here with your extra tufts and be fishing, have the bloody boat, and be able to clean it all out and have it look gorgeous again. Our design in our boat, we are lifelong Alaskans. We're fishermen. We love camping, going out with our family. And we want you to use this boat thoroughly and then wash it off and have it look great again. Another upgrade for 2023, you had mentioned you're originally from Florida. If you notice, our rod holders and our rails, they're all very shiny for an aluminum boat. That is anodized aluminum. There are not a lot of manufacturers. I don't think there are any manufacturers of aluminum boats who are using anodized aluminum for rails. Anodized aluminum is in the molecular compound of the aluminum itself. It's difficult to weld. But we've been testing it for a couple of years at the factory and have finally been able to do it correctly. What that's going to do is it's going to hold the value of your boat for a longer period of time. That shine isn't going to fade.
Doesn't start to get dingy.
Yes, exactly. Aluminum is going to protect itself. It's going to oxidize. And that's a wonderful thing because it's protecting itself. It's closing all those pores and it'll last you a really long time. It just doesn't look as pretty. And so other manufacturers will add stainless steel rails and bolt them on. All that does is allow penetration points for corrosion down the road. So we try to weld everything that we possibly can and keep all the maintenance down as much as we can. Our paint is specifically designed, it's all grip, it's specifically designed for aluminum boats in the marine industry. Everything we do, every detail is designed to minimize maintenance. Our through holes, anytime we have a saltwater head on board and you have to suck in salt water from somewhere, and so we have a hole in the bottom of the boat, but it is fully welded out on the bottom and then we have it fully welded out on the top, and we have a tower with a ball valve that completely closes that off. So if you leave your boat in the marina, you can shut everything down and you don't have to worry about some seal failing and having your boat sink in the harbor.
I have a saltwater head at my house.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
it's a upgrade, but.
Yeah.
And then, so if somebody wanted to buy this, where would they get one? How do they take a sea trial, and then how much is it?
Yes. So at our business, we don't do sea trials of any kind. We are actually in the middle of the Kenai Peninsula, so we're not close to any of the ports. We're at least an hour and 45 minutes away. So we don't sea trial anything. There are a lot of charters out there. A lot of people have friends. Word of mouth is an amazing thing in Alaska. And a lot of them have already been on a boat, have been on a Raider, and so they have that feel before they come. Our business is Peninsula Power Sports. It's on the Kenai Peninsula. And you can come to us, give us a call. We require 10% to order a boat. And we have multiple that are available for this spring. They'll be coming spring and midsummer. And then we work through the build process with you, figure out exactly how you want it, pick out your paint colors, and then get it coming. And you work through financing when the boat actually arrives.
Right.
So.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much,
Yeah.
Haley.
Yes.
Well, that wraps up our tour of the Anchorage Boat Show down here in Anchorage, Alaska. Please remember to smash that like button, share it with a friend that's thinking about visiting Alaska, hit that subscribe button, and remember, it's always a great day here in the AK.
It's always a great day in the AK.
It's always a great day in the AK.
It's always a great day in the AK.
It was a great day in the AK.